like, oh crap, I got to make a decision. What's the right one?
Okay.
So Munchkin's a great game for that, but Magic is a great game for us.
Exactly.
So that's why we're going to watch round 3 live here at Card Kingdom in Seattle, Washington. I'm your host, Josh Monks, joined in the booth by Casey Hogan.
Sorry, I got a weird text just now.
Yeah, you did.
So we're facing off Randy Yao versus James Helms. Randy playing that Grixis Delver deck. Imagine he's got to have some number of young Pyromancers, a bunch of spells, instants, and whatnot. Facing off against James with this Junk Nitfit deck. No, I put
Nickfit?
consonants in a weird place.
Yeah, you
this
did.
Junk Nickfit deck.
What's the name Nickfit from?
That's beyond my knowledge.
Is it Nicholas something for
Nichol-
Teddy? I don't know. I can't think of something that starts with fit and then,
I think that the name is not a good fit.
yeah.
That's all I got. I don't even feel really good about
If
that.
it feels like nice, I'd be like, yeah.
yeah, that is a nice fit.
Nickfit is a deck that is trying to use Veteran Explorer and Cabal Therapy to infinite combo the opponent.
Infinite combo? I don't know about infinite. But to
How
get,
many Siege Rhinos do you need to cast before they lose? Is it less or
my
more than
God.
infinite? Because James is going to be trying to do that as early as turn 2.
That's right.
If he goes turn 1 Forest, Veteran Explorer, turn 2,
Swamp.
No.
There.
no, almost, Phyrexian Tower, Siege Rhino on turn 2.
there it
I've
is.
also seen him go turn
Okay.
2 Thragtusk,
Okay.
Spicy Meatball.
That's pretty good. Difficult to deal with the Ragtusk on turn 2. Difficult to deal with the Thragtusk, to be honest, at all.
In general.
Yeah. You want, and if that thing is going to hit the field, you're going to be in a bad time.
Yeah.
You need 2 spears to deal with that. Looks like James did.
Tiger Blood, I see you typing in that in chat, and I don't believe you. I think that there is a much more convoluted explanation, and I'm looking for that. People didn't make names make sense back then, so maybe they're just talking about the curve. They're like, oh yeah, this curve's a great fit for mana base.
Yeah, it's in.
How many lands do I need to play? 29? Oh, all right.
Seems good. One of those Phyrexian Tower.
Yeah, at least one.
Yeah, exactly.
How many Thragtusks can we fit in this deck?
All right, looks like Randy kept his opening hand. James going to take it down to 6 cards here. Do you know anything about either side of this matchup?
What do you mean by anything about this matchup? I know quite a few things about both of these decks and how they interact in this matchup.
Oh my God, it's happening.
It is happening. There's a Siege Rhino coming down on turn 2 for James, assuming no Force Will or Daze from Randy Yao. And Randy is on the play, so Daze is going to be active.
Oh, very nice here.
So basically how this interaction works is Randy is playing a Wasteland deck, and James is playing a deck that says that's playing a card in his deck that says when it dies, go get 2 basics, put them into play. Grixis Delver doesn't have 2 basics. That's kind of how this matchup works out. Randy can
Deathrite Shaman going to lead it off here.
Randy can certainly get the board in a situation where Nick Fit's not going to be able to operate at all by maybe dazing the Veteran Explorer that comes down on turn 1.
Yeah, pretty safe play here, especially leading off with a fetch land into a Deathrite Shaman. Randy, thinking about it, is trying to. He's first reacting emotionally to the spell. You want to get that out before you commit any cards to the board.
Yeah.
As Mike, when I see something disgusting, I'm like, I counter that or kill it no matter what.
Yeah.
But first, you want to evaluate whether or not this is going to be effective.
Looks like it's just going to happen.
Yeah, Randy doesn't want to bite here. It says that I'll use my days on the big spell that you're trying to cast here. Little does he know.
Not a great strategy, it turns out.
A little aggressive. James is going to be able to deploy that Siege Rhino with 1 mana up, and that's pretty good.
I will say that I think HC Fox pretty much nailed the deck name. I'm going to let you guys read chat. I guess I could read it. Nick Fit, meaning Nicotine Fit, which, now that I think about it, I actually know that is the case. So here's the Phyrexian Tower. He can sacrifice a creature to generate 2 mana. So
right.
he's going to sacrifice Veteran Explorer. Veteran Explorer is going to trigger.
Yeah, it gets 2 black mana.
Is the mana in his pool before or after he searches?
It's actually before.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
As mana abilities do not use the stack, cannot be responded to, just kind of coincidentally happen.
That's right. They happen immediately, and then any trigger like Veteran Explorer or actually City of Brass is a good example as well.
Yes, that's my favorite one.
Just goes off immediately. Randy, realizing that the effect is symmetric, regretting his deck choice.
Yep. Maybe he's regretting having the basic in hand.
Yeah. And now James got double black in his pool, can tap that Forest and that Plains and play that Siege Rhino, and that's going to be so sad.
Rhino. This is probably going to get Force Willed. I know Randy has a Force.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pretty safe to force the early Siege Rhino. It faces off pretty
The
well.
turn 2 Rhino, yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you can't daze it, because they have enough mana to pay for.
Pitching a Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce not so good against this creature heavy
Pretty
deck.
reasonable. What's really funny is James also has access to a top this turn.
Yeah, this would be a juicy Daze target. I'd be fine
This
with
one's going to get dazed.
that. Yeah, and he gets to.
Which, makes you think is a pretty good idea. However,
Little does he
James has
know.
another copy of Siege Rhino in his hand, and only 4 lands in play.
You
right
gotta
now.
carry 2 spears, bro.
I don't know if he's gonna have enough mana to cast it either. Oh, he's got a Verdant Catacombs. Never mind. Force of Will. It is a 2-for-1 to counter a standard card. It's not standard legal anymore.
Yeah.
It's a fine trade now. It used to not be, but now it is.
Yeah, the card is a little. Pillar of Secret's gonna be a play.
I will say, if you want to beat Miracles, the answer is turn 4 Siege Rhino, turn 5 Siege Rhino, turn 6 Siege Rhino.
It's like they're gonna Terminus, then you're gonna crack a fetch, and you're just gonna draw it again.
Yeah, where did the days go? That's a good question.
The Daze is in the exile zone underneath the Force of Will because Randy used the Death Ray Shaman's black ability
He
to get
drained
that
it.
thing.
Okay,
That's right.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I got you.
Actually, where is it?
We pitched the Spell Pierce,
No,
right?
yeah.
Where is the days? Let's go find that out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send Josh down to the match here just for a second. Possible that it's hiding right off camera. Randy. Oh wow. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Heads up, chat. Thanks for paying attention.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, it's underneath there. He pitched it to Force. I'm like, no, he pitched a Spell Pierce to Force, and then he dazed the top.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
All right. So next in line for James' real big black and green cards.
Oh, that's a good card.
Phyrexia. Or no, that's Pernicious Deed.
So I would crack this deed now.
There's some small value in letting Randy reveal the top card.
Okay.
Yeah, now I would though.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I just think that there's no reason to get an Ecto activation off of the Deathray Shaman, but there's no more instant sorceries, so.
That's right. Yeah, does get to tap down, or even if there were, Randy would be forced to use like one of his lands. James can take a hit on the chin. He's got like 9 million Siege Rhinos coming, right?
Yeah. He's just gonna make it happen. I don't think that there's any value in prolonging how long you blow up the deed. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Deathrite Shaman. Oh, looks like he's going to try and drain, but there are no targets, so.
Correct.
He could eat a Veteran Explorer, but that's not really super relevant. So
Yeah.
that's just not going to happen.
Short on green mana.
A little bit. He
Yeah.
could tap the Death Right to make green mana.
Meta.
I would probably just eat a land from James's graveyard for no reason.
I wonder. If
I don't
they're
think it's going to matter, but...
same. Yeah, James doesn't even have a land down there. He's got
Oh, I thought he had a fetch land in there.
no. He's got it on the field. He's got 2 creatures that
Oh,
need
it's
and that
Senseless
artifact.
Divining Top.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the Wasteland get this Phyrexian Tower off the table.
That is going to be good, but you can't wasteland James off of that Siege Rhino mana. Oh,
Veteran Explorer.
another Veteran Explorer. Just
But,
in
I
case.
think he's just going to Rhino.
Yeah, you want to ride that thing into battle. It's got like a palanquin
like a house.
on the top. Exactly, yeah.
Did you say a Palin?
Palanquin?
I don't know what that is.
A palanquin?
Is it like a Palancron? Does Siege Rhino untap 7 lands when it comes into play? Can you return it to your hand for 4
I wish
mana?
that I could demonstrate the face. In the meantime, James going to shuffle up from that fetch land, falling down to 15 here. Get that life total updated just in a minute. Here comes 4 mana for a 4/5. Kind of laughable the first time we saw it, but now it's truly a menace.
Yeah.
It's coming. And
I mean,
Randy,
it was a menace last time. Yeah, Randy had to use 2 cards to deal with it.
exactly. Now he's got a Forked Bolt against a 4/5. He needs to draw another red source and also have
A lightning bolt?
in order to get the board back to parry.
Yeah.
And now, oh my god.
He needs the 2-for-1 himself again.
Yeah.
Jim's going to draw what looks like a Cabal Therapy. He's going to fire that off and name Forked Bolt, which coincidentally he knows that Randy has in his hand because of the draw step activation. Good call. Good call there, Casey.
Generated just a little bit of extra value here. Guaranteed the hit. It's not like he's, what is he going to respond? He's a
Force pitching True Name.
wow. He drew that second blue
The
card.
True Name Nemesis? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it updated in a minute.
Yeah, and they'll fix it once somebody writes it down. So we got a
Yeah.
Veteran Explorer landing on the table. Randy could force this.
I sure could.
It stops James from getting access to 2 more cards at the cost of losing a Force of Will.
Yeah, I'd rather have just the force in my hand than, as I think James very very clearly names the True Name Nemesis here.
Yeah,
Strains
absolutely.
Randy with that extra blue card.
Absolutely.
And like,
True Name Nemesis also doesn't block Siege Rhino very well, so there's that.
Siege Rhino, truly our savior.
Yeah.
Attack. Regular old vanilla attacker 4.
Yeah, the False Name Nemesis just does not block the True Name Rhino very well.
Yeah, Randy can drop basically perfectly for the remainder of the game, and I'm not sure that, like, I think he could Death Wish every turn. And
I think Death Wish is a bad example. How about
Yeah.
Demonic Tutor? What if it's Marilyn of the Morn Song instead of the draw step?
oh, that would be pretty good. I like Maryland. I wish that card had come off.
Yeah. Right when I started playing again, I took like a pretty big break, and then I took another really big break. But right after Morning Tide came out, I was building a Legacy deck. Sorry, we just saw Recurring Nightmare, and I got a lot more excited about that than my story.
This is
Do you know how many rhinos he can play per turn?
just so sad. Make it stop, please. Please force it, Randy.
It's
Not
gonna
like this.
stop. It's
Not
gonna
like-
stop.
Not
How
like
can
this.
you not want to see this
Not
be
like this,
how the
man.
match ends?
Not
Rhino?
like this. Target.
Oh,
Hello. Hello.
no.
Oh my God, get me out of this table.
Man, if you want to know how to make Grixis Delver really unhappy,
You
it's
resolve a siege rhino and then get another siege rhino.
resolve a Siege Rhino on turn 2. That's the answer.
Oh, you got forced. Still fine.
Yeah, still worth it. Came back anyways.
Goodness. So,
But the story about Marilyn of the Morning Song was
Oh,
that
yeah.
an Isaac Run Scepter with Shadow of Doubt on it.
oh, that's pretty slick.
And what's cool is you can resolve Marilyn of the Morning Song, and in
Uh-huh.
fact, if you Aether Violet in, which I don't know why I was playing Aether Violet in a deck with 12 creatures, but I
Yeah,
was.
I mean,
why not? They were all 3 drops, so.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty safe.
But you can Violet Marilyn on your opponent's end step and then untap and then get Shadow of Doubt. And then Shadow of Doubt your opponent every single turn off the Marilyn of the Morning Song draw step.
Stop.
And that's kind of fun.
Right. HC Fox, you're probably my favorite member of chat, to be honest.
We could probably mod that guy.
That's legit. All right. Yeah, I'll let Cornejo do it.
Yeah, I'll trust him.
not-
I'll trust him.
not
He
my
gets my
screen.
seal of approval.
Yeah. Randy, looking to read Pernicious Deed. Not sure why I think that card is a Phyrexian card. But
It's Apocalypse, right?
that's correct, yeah. Frailise,
So
Arms
that was
of Bomb.
the Phyrexian invasion, correct?
That's correct. Well, I think, so as I understand it, Frailise was in the Phyrexian stronghold at the time of setting the bomb, which is represented by the Pernicious Deed.
Yeah, she didn't get out, right? That's the story. Or no, she did get out. She like rifted out, right?
Frailise? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Because she's a major character in the Time Spiral series.
Oh, maybe that's right.
And I think what she did is she rift walked the entire Sky Shroud out.
Oh, I think that was before that was a plane shift card, so I think that like the card, there's a card that does that. What you're thinking of? I don't know what it's called. So.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the plot is that the land of Sky Shroud was getting destroyed,
Oh,
and
sure,
so
sure,
she put it in a rift and then had it appear somewhere else, and then it ended up, I believe, in Keld.
All right.
And it's right when the Gathans were coming back and attacking Keld and trying to take it over.
Let's see. Oh, that's there we
there
go.
it is.
All right. Yawgmoth, you will pay for your treachery. Yeah. So I think Frailise is just doing two things in two different places.
Okay, all right. Well, I just wasn't sure because I thought, okay, never mind. I don't know.
Yeah, it's about she just may have armed the bomb and then left.
Yeah, she's like, I'm out.
That's, she's, I mean,
Maybe her CMC is like 6 and she did it at X equals 5. I don't know. Does Frailise have a card? She does.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Pretty
this
new.
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a 5 cost, and she blows up artifacts and enchantments. So she blows up the Pernicious Deed.
Yes. Hello and welcome to Old School Magic Lore. I'm Casey Hogan, your tour guide as we traverse down
Or are you a goblin guy?
the path. So awful. All right. So going into this second game here, saw Nick Fit taking it down on the back of not 1, not 2, but 3 Siege Rhinos.
Yeah. One of them was twice. So nice you counted twice.
That's all right. I think if you get the same Siege Rhino 3 times, I think that's like an achievement, right? You get some real life points. So Randy, what's Randy going to be looking to do in the second game?
Not let Veteran Explorer resolve on turn 1, I think is a good start. And
Yeah.
then not let James get to 1 trillion mana is the second start.
Yeah, and I think the first leads into the second pretty well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
fair.
And not doing the first one makes the second one happen just automatically.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I will say that I was playing against Nick Fit a little while ago with Death and Taxes, and I was like, man, I've played this matchup a ton as Delver, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then I played with Swords of Plowshares on my deck, and then everything changed.
Exactly. Randy would like to upgrade his lightning bolts to like vapor snags, and like that would be pretty fine.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to Vapor Snag Siege Rhino, but I'd Vapor Snag a Veteran Explorer.
Okay, that's a fair deal. Ooh, and this is a pretty good opener coming out of James here. He's got,
Yeah, Spice Meatball.
He's
He's
got-
got that deed again.
yeah, he's got his full color suite, although he has a Taiga. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's probably as a one of. I imagine the mana base, you can just do anything you want to do with Nick Fit. Like, you have so many lands in the deck.
Yeah, 8 basics and then like some stuff, whatever you got.
Whatever.
James doesn't like it. Oh, so his only black source was a duel.
Yeah.
Which is risky against the Grixis Delver.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. It also didn't do anything early, which I think you need to do things early versus Grixis Delver. You need to be able to accelerate, because if he just draws a bunch of Siege Rhinos, I'm pretty sure he's going to lose the game.
That's fair. Yeah, if you go Lango, and they do like land creature.
They're like land, Deathrite Shaman, Delver, Cabal Therapy you.
That's bad. Not good. You don't want that. Cabal Therapy actually coming in on both sides of this game. There comes that Painful Truce as well.
Scully would be proud.
Bless.
My references are off the charts.
Oh, goodness. Abrupt Decay. James is thinking about that for his first draw step. I think I might take that. His only black access is through that fetch land into a duel, which is a little awkward. Slaughter Games out of the sideboard. Heads up.
I could get behind that. He might have some more sideboard cards. Who knows? With Nick Fit, it's one of those decks that you can kind of just do anything you want to. So, like
Yeah.
the engine of the deck is Veteran Explorer, Cabal Therapy interaction,
Yeah,
and
so
then
that's like 8 cards plus another 8 basics or so.
yeah, and then the rest of it, like, what do you want to cast that's big and scary? Do you want to play Palancron with Recurring Nightmare? Because somebody was doing that.
Yeah, that's allowed. You could do that.
Yeah,
it
that
seems
could-
illegal, but it is actually allowed.
You get infinite mana, and infinite comes into play effects of one other creature, and you just that's it. That's the entire deck.
That's my plan. See if it's good. Yeah, Mirror Deathrite Shaman's here. Although Randy being on the play means he's going to get to take advantage of that land immediately, should he so desire.
Yeah, so he can either take advantage, he can either take the initiative, fire it off, or he can wait. So he's going to Gix Probe, see what's going on across the street. Looks like there's a Siege Rhino, a Pernicious Deed, and that Painful Truce.
Yeah, Randy's very excited to see all these cards. Not excited.
Not excited. None of these cards does Randy want to resolve.
Like, maybe Painful Truce is tolerable, but you go Painful Truce into Siege Rhino, and that's real.
Then it suddenly becomes not tolerable.
Yeah. Uba Mask, funny enough, chat, just real quick, was pretty good in Vintage for a little bit. Because that is a good card to play off of Mishra's Workshop. But I think the overall lesson we learned was that artifacts are good with Mishra's Workshop, and that's about it.
I agree.
So Randy going to follow up that Gitaxian Probe with the Ponder. Go digging for something. Hoping to find a Cabal Therapy, I imagine, would be very nice. And get the land out of his own graveyard to some effect to prevent James from untapping and playing Painful Truce on 3 on turn 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say I was playing a little while ago versus somebody who was playing the Uba Mask, what's it called, -6 deck. Do you know where the name -6 comes from?
No.
It comes from revealing World Gorger Dragon to Dark Confidant.
Red 3.
It is a World Gorger Dragon combo deck, but if you get Bazaar and Uba Mask in play,
Uh-huh.
your opponent doesn't do anything, and you get to do a lot of the things.
Oh. Oh, okay. I can see that. That's pretty legit.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I was impressed.
Not sure I'd say it's good, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, not as cool as Human Storm, but
Yeah,
good.
I mean that's cool and also not very good. So
yeah, but you get
we get a lot of overlap
you
there.
get Magus of the Future. It's pretty good. So it looks like Randy kept and is going to deploy a Delver. Get the clock started early.
So I do not like eating here as James has a fetch land. I think that it is much better to just stagnate yourself for a turn so that he does not get access to one of the many 3-drops in hand.
Did you see if he had a discard outlet?
Well, I mean, so if Randy just passes a turn with Deathrite up, James could attempt to eat a land with Deathrite, and then Randy gets to respond by eating the same land and be like, yeah, I'd like this mana instead of you.
Yeah, so you bring yourselves together to the next turn.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than saying, is a Delver worth resolving Painful Truce or a Pernicious Deed this turn?
Yeah.
But maybe Randy also wants this Pernicious Deed to get put on the stack,
So that he can interact with it in some way.
so that he can maybe daze it.
Yeah. Interesting. James is going to use his fetch land here. Oh my god.
Sigarda, Host of Herons.
That is the host of Herons herself.
Not the new Sigarda.
There's a Toxic Illusion on the sideboard. Okay, good to know.
It's reasonable to bring in.
Is James going to fetch another basic forest?
It seems ambitious. He can't get a
Yeah.
swamp and he has a plains in hand already, so I guess. I don't think he wants to get a duel with that Wasteland in play.
My intuition says yes, but I feel like both players having Deathrite Shamans means that cutting the resources down is slightly advantageous to the deck that has more lands.
Yeah.
I think is the one on the right, especially if he manages to resolve this Painful Truce now, then I like it a lot.
The way that I've always looked at it is Delver's strategy, it's inherently a tempo deck. It's trying to get underneath the other deck.
Yeah.
And so what it wants to do is it wants to stay on turn 3 for like 6 turns. The
Okay.
problem is if they reset the game, but they don't have any sort of board control to be in the first 3 turns where they're dominating, they're pretty much just letting both decks go to the long game, and their deck is not good long.
That's right.
Like Deathrite scales pretty well, Delver scales okay, Gurmag Angler is the best.
Yeah. Looks like Randy missed on his Delver.
Oh, interesting,
Despite
yeah.
having set it up with the Ponder. Wow,
Interesting.
that must be some really good stuff on the top.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
we'll
mean-
see a Young Pyromancer?
I don't even know if Young Pyromancer is great. Like I think Rest in Peace is pretty powerful, but
Yeah, I'd be fine with that, but there aren't any white sources.
yeah. I mean, it's only pretty powerful because it stops Veteran Explorer, but
Yeah, fair enough.
there's also that deed in play. Oh,
James O'Rourke, basic
Wow,
swamp.
what a lord.
Very nice. Spells definitely going to get cast this turn.
So yeah, James is probably pretty unhappy he could not fetch a basic swamp with his fetch land.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got another swamp face down. Okay.
Hilarious. Okay.
Well,
Very
So I think that he should just try and resolve Painful Truths.
Yeah, I think for 2 is fine. Yeah.
He could use the Deathrite Shaman also.
On what?
Oh,
Remember he used the
yeah,
Windswept
I saw the Windswept Heath in
Yeah.
facing the right direction, so
Okay.
that's what I thought.
I got you. Maybe James is just going to pass here and try to 2 for 2 his opponent. Bring it farther down into the late game.
So it looks like Randy's gonna try and eat. He's gonna do the same thing that I did,
You
which
wanted
is
to.
like, why is it facing the way that your graveyard is when your graveyard's only one card?
Yeah. Actually, James might be looking to gain death rate tempo advantage here.
Looks like it's happening. The initiative
Yeah.
is going towards James, but Randy's about to untap, and this is the advantage when you're playing with the initiative on. Oh, I like
Whoa.
this line a lot actually.
Upkeeps it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I would have done it still end step, but
Fair. Yeah.
just because it gives Randy another activation, Death Rate should he so choose. It just lets him choose.
That's fair. Yeah, might have been end step, and we just didn't notice it happen real quickly.
It's quite possible.
Here comes that brainstorm. All right.
Sorcery Speed Brainstorm. I imagine he's got a fetch to set that up. Finds a Pithing Needle. Little late.
Still fine though, I think.
Still okay.
Damage has been done, and he got away with a straight up 2 for 2, and one of them was Pernicious Deed, which is really good against this Grixis deck. Which,
Yeah, basically he traded Death Rate for Death Rate and Pernicious Deed for Delver.
and I'd be fine with that.
And I think James is okay with that because
Yeah.
if these matchups go long, James's deck is favored.
Absolutely.
Just inherently by having a bunch of Siege Rhinos in it, it just tends to be better than decks playing Delver and Secrets.
it totally makes sense. Yeah, as I imagine the deck with more Siege Rhinos wants to take the game to the point where they can have 4 lands on the field. Yeah. Randy might be looking to use that Wasteland for Diamond mana.
Is allowed. It does tap for Devoid, just like a waste.
1 star. Nah, Diamond.
I felt it. I was okay with it. Gold Star.
Ooh. Speaking of gold stars, the gold standard Brainstorms finish putting at least 1 Wasteland back for Randy here.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Wasteland not. Do you think there's an argument for boarding out Wasteland in this matchup?
I don't think so. I think that the thing is Wasteland still taps for mana when you don't activate it,
Okay.
whereas boarding in another sideboard card does not tap for mana if
That's
you
fair.
need it.
I don't mean maybe not all of them.
Yeah.
But some subset.
Yeah, I mean, I could get behind it. I think also if you have a basic land in your deck, you can probably cut 1 or 2 just because you know that if the Veteran Explorer thing happens, at least you're not that far behind. You still get something out of it.
Right.
But I believe this Grixis Delver is on 0 basics, as
Yeah,
he did
playing-
not find last time.
Yeah, playing a tropical.
Yeah, people always play the Trop in the Grixis Delver, and I always feel like it should be relegated to the sideboard just because I feel like I only want that in very specific matchups, and every time I draw the Tropical Island, I hate myself. So
Yeah,
it's the weird middle ground.
Yeah. Just wish it was a City of Brass, something like that.
Honestly, I think I would rather it be a basic land, just
valid.
because then it's at least basic. It has that.
Yeah, right.
They do about the same thing, so.
Makes sense. Here comes that Pithing Needle. In a minute, our spotter's gonna hit the scene. Tell us what that's on.
I'm gonna imagine that it's on. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Probably Death Rate Shaman.
It could be Recurring Nightmare. There are
Yeah.
actually a lot of pretty decent hits here, and James doesn't have any of them in his hand.
Yeah.
A second Brainstorm on
Brandon's
the turn here.
Can't name Siege Rhino, sadly. Yeah, really strange sequencing there. I don't know if I like the Brainstorm, the spell, and then another Brainstorm.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe some slight inexperience showing through on Randy's side. Yeah, I'm gonna pass things back to James here. James here. Oh my goodness.
I forgot the name of that card, but I know what it does. It's the Commander card.
Not that one.
Whoa. What is that card? That did not look like a Magic card.
That was a scheme.
Oh,
I think.
okay. It's called Nothing Can Stop Me Now, so.
Oh, I got nothing here. It's like Melnoth of Clan Telnoth or something.
Yeah, something of Clan something or other. I just don't know the Commander sets at all.
Yeah,
Qual Therapy's the draw. That
Okay.
gets a Siege Rhino or 2 out of James's hand.
absolutely. Yeah, James resolving the Painful Truce did let him in a third Gitaxian probe. Mare up, thank you. Oh, it's
Marin.
Meltoth. Yeah, that's. James has been playing this one to great effect pretty
It's
recently.
good. It's good.
Yeah.
So how this card works is every time at the end of your turn, you disentomb a creature, unless the creature that you try and disentomb has devotion or experience less than
Right,
less
so
than the mana cost.
clocking in at a 4-mana 3/4.
Yeah, you explain it. You're better at this.
When another creature you control dies, you get a counter, so you get the counters forever. And at the beginning of your end step, you get to pick a creature up from your graveyard, no matter what. But if it happens to meet the criteria of having CMC less than or equal to the number of experience counters that you've got, You just get to put that on the field.
If you're experienced enough, it just goes straight into play. Otherwise, it goes back to your hand, generates value that way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Randy is a little experienced and gets that Cabal Therapy right out of the field, or uses Cabal Therapy to get that thing right out.
Makes sense. And we'll see if there's a flashback here. I haven't seen a Young Pyromancer out of this deck, but Young Pyromancer certainly makes this a lot better for Randy.
Certainly, yeah. He led with like Ataxian Probe, so I imagine that's unlikely to happen. Well, you know what would be good? Would be True Name Nemesis here. Simple as
See,
that.
True Name is kind of okay, but Siege Rhino is the truth.
Yeah, he's got that. Yeah.
Let's find out what that Pithing Needle's on. I'm very curious now.
Yeah.
It kind of matters.
You know, I'll send my spotter Josh down. Check things out real quick. As James taps 4 mana and plays a standard powerhouse Siege Rhino, bringing the score 15-13. And now Randy has to deal with a 4/5.
It is on Pernicious Deed.
Okay, so the True Name is safe from that disruptive enchantment, although it is not safe from Siege Rhino. A second True Name Nemesis will stall the board out, and at the cost of taking a 2-point hit to the face, Randy will be able to kill attacking Siege Rhinos.
But there is a Pernicious Deed in hand for James. However, that Pithing Needle is on Pernicious Deed, as you may have guessed.
Gotcha.
I had kind of guessed, but I just wanted to make sure. Oh, there's the Young Pyromancer, so we finally got that active.
Yeah.
Little late.
Definitely.
And a Brainstorm trigger my YP.
Ooh, very nice. Okay.
Make a buddy.
Yeah, now he's going to get to replace, or get to cast that Cabal Therapy from the graveyard. It's a pretty good effect here.
Draw 3. Keep
Yeah.
1, put 2 back.
Yeah, Gotta put 2 back, though.
Yeah, he does have to put 2 back.
That is required. Randy, once he's done resolving that, we'll have the unfavorable task of trying to figure out what disruptive card, or what card James has drawn, whether he wants to guarantee the Pernicious Deed into the bin, despite having the onboard answer to it,
Yeah, absolutely.
or wants to poke in the dark.
Looks like we got a judge question in the feature match area. We'll figure out what that is.
Okay.
I think we're probably asking about
How
trample and protection work. It's a good guess.
Yeah. Actually, an interesting point. Protection has worked with trample, I think maybe about 3 different ways since the advent of the mechanic. Back in the day, you had to assign the
All
game.
right, he's going for the Cabal Therapy. He didn't pack the cards with Brainstorm.
All right. We'll send our spotter one last time to tell Randy to finish resolving his Brainstorm. Not done just quite yet. Yeah, that Pernicious Deed is locked out. Randy did name it with Pithing Needle, so James is going to have that sitting in his hand for just a little bit.
Well, he almost drew another 3 cards. I came over and I'm like, you got to finish resolving Brainstorm.
And he's like, oh, Brainstorm, perfect. I'd love to.
Yeah, just perfect. Just what I needed. It looks like
Well,
figuring out what to name. The answer is, of course, Siege Rhino.
guessed correctly. Yeah, James left with 2 lands and a Pernicious Deed, which is not going to do a lot here, except look pretty on the field.
The answer to what was behind door number 2 is, of course, another Siege Rhino.
If you had to ask, it's another Siege Rhino.
And Ponder going to get casted here.
Okay, all right. See those 3 cards. Put 2 back from Brainstorm already this turn. So,
Yeah, that Pithing Needle is, of course, naming Pernicious Deed. That's why he's avoiding that card like the plague.
yeah, exactly.
Which, it makes sense, but it's also a little bit ambitious because if James draws an answer for the Pithing Needle,
The game is basically over.
Randy loses, yeah.
Yeah,
Then again, Siege Rhino is kind of a nightmare. There's Scavenging Ooze, that's pretty good.
absolutely. There are at least 3 creatures in graveyards, I think. I got Pair of Deathrite Shamans as well as a Delver of Secrets. Oh, and Siege Rhino that got dinged.
So
see,
if Siege Rhino attacks, he trades with 2 tokens, is that it?
That's right.
Oh, just,
No, you gets to trade 2 tokens off. Trample over for 1 as well.
yeah. So Rhino's gonna eat the tokens, deal 1 to Randy. True Name, of course, survives the endeavor.
Reset the board, except not quite reset. Here comes Scavenging Ooze. Slice and dice.
That card was really good in Vintage for just a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Your opponent can't counter it.
I mean, that's a fair point.
It was exclusively to cycle.
Fair enough. Yeah, so James makes an interesting call here. He plays the Scavenging Ooze and doesn't use his fetch land immediately to bring it up to 4/4 to protect it from lightning bolts.
Yeah. Also, it's really ambitious when you have a green fetch land in play and
Yeah.
the Skoos, just because if you fetch and your opponent kills in response, you don't get access to that mana.
Yeah, and you're so sad.
Again, the land that you want to tap is in the wrong zone.
Yeah.
I started to look at Magic as a game of making sure cards are in the right zone.
Ooh, he goes for it.
So he's going to fetch EOT.
And we'll see if the punish is there.
Looks like the answer is no.
And he's safe for just this turn.
2 creatures hit in the bin.
or well, hitting the double bin.
Yeah. They're removed from the bin.
Yeah, now James actually gets to attack with relative impunity, as well as completely shutting up the Death Ray Shaman that Randy just drew.
Excuse it or lose it. That's my answer for
There it
Death Ray
is.
Shaman.
Yeah, Astral Slide, big fan of that deck. Well, both while it was in standard and as well as its stay in extended.
Yeah, I really like the format extended actually, and I think it'd be really cool if there was a modern that went back just a little bit further because I feel like Onslaught Block just like
Yeah.
totally warps everything that's ever occurred.
Oh,
James
hey.
draws the answer.
Wow. Wow. Who is he? That masked man. He's a monster. I'm actually not sure he wants to trade a Scavenging Ooze for the Death Ray Shaman. Or for the Trinity Nemesis.
Yeah, the thing is, he's going to trade the. I think he should have not deployed the Scavenging Ooze. I guess he obviously wouldn't know at the time what he had.
Yeah.
I'd just deploy the deed and pass. I would have deployed the deed a while ago, actually.
Yeah, might as well get it on the field here. Protect it from.
Yeah, he's going to see exactly how many things he can eat with said Scoos.
Uh-huh.
Looks like he's going to attack first, I imagine. Death Ray is just going to get in the way. All right.
Safe.
Safe?
The Scavenging Ooze isn't a one-shot, but it's pretty close.
You know.
Can't afford to take a big hit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I imagine he's just going to go land.
How do you feel about just decaying the Pyromancer and chipping?
The thing is the Trinity can just block.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
if Randy decides that he needs to be on defense instead of the offense, the Scoos is never going to get through Trinity.
Okay, that's a good point.
And he just needs to find one threat, like, say, a flying threat, and it changes everything.
Okay, good point.
So you're going to see an attack for 3. That's going to put James on the 15. These life totals getting mighty low also.
Yeah, the Scavenging Ooze is running out of creatures to eat, and a Baleful Strike is going to hit the field here. Replace itself. Randy drawn a lot of cards this game.
Yeah, he has. We'll see if it's enough. Plays the land for the turn, and sends it back. So it looks like James is going to go end step. I'm going to eat some things.
He's got that Death Ray Shaman. He's got his own Death Ray Shaman, and he's got a Siege Rhino. I think he wants to leave at least one there, just in case he happens to draw Recurring Nightmare.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's no rush for him to eat any of the cards in his own graveyard. I would actually just continuously eat cards out of Randy's graveyard until I feel the need to eat any cards from mine. Just
Safe.
because, like,
Sensible.
you get a little bit of life gain and a little bit of value, but you also manage to get all of the cards out of Randy's graveyard. So if he potentially draws a Gurmag Angler, there's
yeah.
so many less things to do that way.
That's a good point. James playing his 6th basic land. Oh, he's got Green Sun Zenith. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. So we could see an easy end step, Abrupt Decay of the Pith Needle, blow up Pernicious Deed, untap Green Sun for Thragtusk.
That's pretty good.
Do you like Green Sun for Thragtusk or Green Sun for...
Primeval Titan.
Ooh.
Actually, Sigarda probably is where I'd want to go with that one. The fact that Baleful Strix exists is kind of troubling, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's why I kind of like Thragtusk. I don't like doing this now. This seems really unnecessary.
Yeah.
It seems like this could be way more easily done during Randy's end step.
Yeah, now Randy gets to play a full turn knowing that something bad is going to happen to him.
Yeah, if Randy draws a threat here, he's definitely not going to deploy it.
Yeah, and that's a thing that James has to worry about as he's resolving his Green Sun Zenith next turn.
Yes.
Invasive Surgery. Okay.
I think you get either Siege Rhino or Thragtusk here, but I'm not 100% sure. Thragtusk is just a nightmare to deal with.
Absolutely.
The only
Yeah.
card that deals with it is Turn In.
Right. Randy's already got one down on the field. Can't imagine he's playing that many in a deck with Baleful Strix. Yeah, I think combat here is pretty safe. Randy can basically block forever, or can block with that Baleful Strix at least one turn.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, he's eating.
Oh,
Okay, I thought
okay.
he was like, whoa, he's blowing up Deed right now? That seems wrong.
Whoa there,
And
cowboy.
only for 2.
It's like,
So he's going to eat a Siege Rhino, and he's going to eat a Death Ray Shaman.
interesting.
And then he's going to blow up Deed now. I don't like this at all.
Okay.
Like, James is at 20.
Yeah.
It just seems so unnecessary to let Randy have sorcery speed interaction
Yeah.
after the Deed has been exploded.
Yeah, he can even, like, if he's trying to ponder, things are going to work out really well for him.
I mean, if he went Young Pyromancer Ponder, James would probably just kick himself.
Exactly. Like, he can fetch up a Sigarda or something like that, but and that flies over.
I don't like tapping out here either. I think you get Siege Rhino so you don't have to tap out. Because if Randy's holding a Daze, you die. You lose.
It's just the game, yeah.
Nope,
But,
looks like it happened.
All right.
No
so-
fear.
So some big chutzpah getting shown by both players here. Or
Green Sun
by James.
shuffle
at
back
least.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, James asking his opponent really hard questions like, do you have literally anything? Randy does not, though.
Has a Gix Probe for mana. Reveals a Veteran Explorer.
Yeah, can't afford. 8 is not that much. And James would be able to kill him with that Veteran Explorer.
There's a Delver of Secrets. That's the draw for Randy.
Yeah, very. Not
See where
so
he
good
goes
against
with
5/5 Flyer.
Very true. Pulling up Sigarda.
I
Make sure you get the right
I
one.
have no idea what that card does.
It's the second one.
Yeah, I know.
Do you though?
I knew it
I know
was the
what it
host
does.
appearance. All
I've
right.
seen this card on camera here at Card Kingdom, and
Oh,
it was
really?
the most savage thing ever because the person lost with Sigarda in play to Crackman Dude.
Oh!
I had to hold on to that one for a little bit just so you could feel the punch. He was at 2
Oh,
with
wow.
the Sigarda in play. Greg was not happy about that. It was Greg.
That's astonishing. Daze off the top does let that Delver flip, but
Did he draw the days and then draw another card?
no.
Okay, all right. I thought he revealed it, put it in his hand, and then drew for the turn, but wasn't sure.
No.
I wasn't watching hard enough.
Now after our
Ooh, Veteran Explorer getting in for 1 here.
hello, 2 damage. Lightning bolt.
Oh, just kidding.
Ooh. Take that, Veteran Explorer. Think about your choices next time.
Poor life choices.
Yeah, James, don't act like you don't have any basics in there. I don't want. Nah, you don't.
He's got
Could
them
he?
all.
Could he have that basic?
He got them all. Oh, there's Rhino on top. That's too bad. Delver gonna hit the bin.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sigarda having hexproof. Well, unfortunately for Randy, Sigarda's got hexproof. Randy's out here is Baleful Strikes. That would actually be very good here.
Yeah, it would absolutely stop James.
Yeah. Require him to have a nice top deck. We'll see what the top lies in store.
It's like a copy ponder, so that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
It's like it races Randy to casting it. It's like, get me on the field, please, make it happen.
Can't hold itself.
Yeah, he's got.
Finds Death Ray Shaman. I believe there's a Force of Will in that pile as well. Not sure what the third card is. Just gonna go ahead and extend the handshake. Not
That's
even
right.
gonna shuffle him away.
Yeah, it's exceptionally long. Sequence of events have to happen just right. All right, we're gonna head on back to the booth here in just a second.